Oh, bother. Milady's gotten herself into terrible trouble. You there? I hate to impose, but I'm in something of a pickle and could use a modicum of assistance. Do you happen to have any experience dealing with ancient curses? Yes, of course. Milady always says I misplaced my head if it wasn't attached. Now, where was I? Oh, yes, the curse. My mistress, Lady Laurent, was hired to help prepare this site for some important meeting or another. Then disaster struck. Well, usually I'm the one who stumbles into trouble, but this time Milady found the old chest. It was so unlike her to open it herself, and that's when she activated the curse. I'd gladly give you my annual stipend if you help me save Lady Laurent. Oh, thank you. You've lifted a great weight off my shoulders. Come along. Lady Laurent is along the southern coast. Do prepare yourself. The curse has made Milady a different person. Literally. She's been possessed by an ancient sea captain. Well, I'm far from an expert in such matters, but it started as soon as Milady opened that old chest. Lady Laurent immediately changed and started acting like an ancient sea captain. She's certainly not her usual demanding self. Because as soon as she opened the old chest, her posture changed. She started to swear like a sailor. Claimed she was the captain of a great sailing vessel and ordered me around like a lowly deckhand. It was even more degrading than usual. Mostly because the sea captain rambled about the curse of the islet and the curse that binds his spirit, etc., etc. Made the hair on my neck stand on end. To think there's someone in there with Milady. Oh, it's very troublesome. Technically, it's an islet. All Flags Islet, to be precise. It has some historical significance, but that's more Milady's area of expertise than mine. I believe it used to be some sort of monument or museum. Just that, I noticed a lot of historical plaques scattered about. They talk about the All Flags Navy, which I think was rather famous in its day. The Society of the Steadfast hired Lady Laurent to preserve the site prior to their big meeting. Oh, I'm just a meager, put-upon manservant. I wouldn't know anything about such monumental events. Well, I may have heard a mention or two, so yes, I suppose ending the Three Banners War is the purpose of the big meeting. Confidentially speaking. Lady Laurent was hired to preserve any items and structures of historical import and make the islet safe for the upcoming meeting. They knew they had a problem with undead, but they never mentioned anything about an ancient curse. You've never heard of the famous historian and treasure hunter, Lady Clarice Laurent? Some of the most important discoveries of the age can be directly attributed to Milady. As for me, I'm just her humble manservant. Now, about that sea captain. Not very much, I'm afraid. He's boisterous, confident, and rather bawdy, if I'm being honest. I detest him, and I can't abide such a depraved individual taking up residence in my mistress. It's unseemly. Come along, and you'll see for yourself. Oh, thank you. You've lifted a great weight off my shoulders. Come along. Lady Laurent is along the southern coast. Do prepare yourself. Oh, bother. Milady's gotten herself into terrible trouble. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm far from an expert in such matters.
You opened my old hope chest? Oh, that's not good. Lady Clarice Laurent. I'm Lady... No, I am someone else. Captain? Is that you in there, my love?
Ah, first a curse and now a ghost. Oh, talk to Lady Laurent, please. I'm much too upset
My
for
darling
rational
Jan,
discourse.
seeing you makes my loins stir and my... Ow! Ugh! Get out of my head! Is that... Oh, what a ridiculous question. Wait, who are you? Did my hapless manservant actually manage to find someone willing to help? Oh, good. I seem to have unleashed some sort of curse when I opened this chest. It's the sea captain. Stibbins and I were exploring when I spotted this hope chest partially buried in the sand. I usually let my manservant deal with such things, but for some reason, I felt compelled to open it. That's when... I remember my ship, a proud vessel, and my valiant crew. There was a storm, I think, but I can't remember my name. Interesting. My body didn't have quite this many tempting curves the last time I checked. Why, I'm Captain... Kinnereth's R sits right on the tip of my tongue. Well, never mind that. Come, Jan. We must hither to the big tree. I promised to meet you there, and now that I have a body, nothing can stop me.
Oh dear! Follow Lady Laurent. She's in no condition to wander off on her own.
Begone, brother. I plan to dock with my lady love, and this boat has no need of a third oar.
Brother? Third oar? Milady, you're confused.
Ah, there you are, my turtle dove. Come to me, my darling. I've missed you so.
The ghost woman. She's inside you, friend. The captain thinks you're her. Talk to Milady and play along. See what you can learn.
Ah, fair Jan. How I've longed to hold you close again. You were never far from my thoughts, even while I sailed across the stormy seas. And here I am, just as I promised, back from the war for an intimate rendezvous under our favorite tree. You tease me, my little vixen. You know I am a captain in the magnificent All-Flags Navy. Perhaps the best in the entire fleet. Ah, but I do enjoy our little amusements. What game are we playing this time, pray tell? Alas, that is the nature of war, my dearest. Those Sload are terrible creatures. But know this! Every time I set sail, I do it for you. I cannot abide another day with my love in dire peril from the threat of Thras's monsters. Now I know you jest, my sweet. To my crew, I am captain. But to you, I am... Ow! 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 Oh! Ah! Get out! Ugh. Yes, it's me. at least for the moment. Take my useless manservant and go to the lighthouse. The plaques there tell the story of the All Flags Navy. Maybe they contain a clue as to how to break this damn curse. Off with you. Take Stibbins and investigate the lighthouse. I'll be along in a moment. I need to compose myself. It's clear that this randy sea captain has strong feelings for the ghost that's inside you. Maybe we can use that. Let me ponder. No idea, but I could see her inside you while the captain was at the helm, as it were. She was giving me, him, the puppy dog eyes. Very disconcerting. Anyway, to the lighthouse. It's clear this is somehow tied to the All Flags Navy. Ugh, you do realize it's taking everything I have to keep that foul-mouthed, lascivious sea captain at bay. Go read the plaques and learn the history for yourself. Or maybe you can get that ghost inside you to help. I'll be along shortly.
Oh, yes, the lighthouse. It's full of historical information. What a good idea, milady. I knew milady was still in there ready to order me about. The lighthouse is on the eastern shore of the islet. It's part of the old museum I mentioned. I remember polishing its historic plaques quite clearly. Let's go see what they contain. Examine the historical plaques and see what you make of them.
Ah, the old lighthouse. I remember it well. Ah, yes, the Thracian plague. Terrible disease. Simply terrible. I was lucky. I remember the Baron Admiral quite fondly. Excellent leader. I would have followed him and... Ah, what a sight. When the first ships of the All Flags Navy sailed into the upgraded harbor, I was aboard. So many lost. But even as my ship sank beneath the waves, I knew that Tobin Moorcroft. I know that name. My brother. Yes! Yes, the Master Builder was my brother!
Tobin Moorcroft. Oh, this is all that wretched scoundrel's fault.
Oh, the ghost woman!
I read these plaques all the time, but I never remember a word. Just that history has forgotten my love. And even I can only remember bits and pieces. Until today. I remember Tobin Moorcroft, and I spit on his memory. I remember that he was a cad and a coward. A sorry excuse for a man. He was my beloved's brother, and the master builder of the All Flags Memorials. He carved the names into the garden plaque personally. But not my captain's. Not my love. I remember only glimpses, like a shadow moving across a wall. He was a sea captain, tall, strong, proud. He called me his little turtle dove, his safe port in a storm. Oh, I wish I could remember his name, or his touch, or his face. The All Flags. Yes, yes, I think that's right. That's what it says on these old plaques. Oh, I wish I could remember more. It's the curse, I fear. Gets into everything and muddies the water. Been that way ever since Tobin. Yes, I refused that snake's advances. I was grieving in shock and in pain, and he demanded I betray my love for another man. How could I? It was too soon. You must help. I think it started at the inn. End this curse so I can remember.
The inn? The building at the center of the islet? I suppose it wouldn't hurt to go look.
It seems the only way to rid myself of this insistent and amorous spirit is to help Jan's ghost remember what transpired. Take Stibbins and see what you can learn at the inn. I'll keep the sea captain at bay for as long as I can.
Oh dear, this is beginning to sound like some lurid romance novel. Not that I would know anything about such things, or that Lady Laurent would. Perhaps we should investigate Monument Inn and see if we can learn anything there.
I remember this place! Jan and I shared many pleasant encounters beneath this roof before I set sail with the fleet.
Oh, no, sir. Absolutely not.
Lady Jan seems to think one of us is someone untoward. Talk to her, my friend.
No, Tobin. You cannot offer me a drink. And I have absolutely no intention of dancing with you. I'm here with my captain, and I have no patience for the advances of his foolish younger brother. Away with you, foul sir!
Jan is mine, little brother. Go play with your hammer and chisels. My sweet deserves a night to remember before I set sail from Port Sargo.
A night to remember? But anyway, Port Sargo. That's the old dock on the eastern shore of this very islet. Port Sargo is located on the eastern shore of the All Flags Islet. Let's see what we can find there.
Do you mind? I want to spend every moment before I sail with my beloved Jan. So go bother someone else and leave us to our dalliance.
The ruins of Port Sargo. Somewhat disconcerting, as long deserted places tend to be. But there's a plaque. See what it says. The pristine halberd. The captain's name has been scratched off the plaques on the pedestal and on the wall.
Here to see me off, little brother? How touching. Baron Admiral Bendu, my vessel is ready to sail as soon as you give the word.
Baron Admiral Bendu Olo was in charge of the All Flags Navy. Pretend to be the Admiral, and perhaps the captain will reveal his name.
Baron Admiral, After years of preparation, we're finally ready to show those slug bastards what for. My ship was one of the first to join the fleet, and today it's ready. Give the word and we'll set sail on the next wave. Why, just the finest warship ever to set sail from High Rock. Surely you remember the name of... Why, yes, of course! The Pristine Halberd! The pride of the Breton fleet. We've helped protect this rock during the long years of buildup. Now we're ready to be the instrument of vengeance, just as you planned. The captain? Why, I am the captain! My name? Why, I'm Renwick Moorcroft, captain of the Pristine Halberd and proud member of the All Flags Navy. Oh, out! No, I'm Lady Laurent. He's Captain Renwick. But why haven't you broken this curse yet? I'm not sure how much longer I can fight off the captain. Talk to Stibbins and end this already!
Captain Renwick Moorcroft, my beloved's true name. You must add my beloved's name to the main garden monument before we forget it again.
That's not going to happen. Only the hammer and chisels of Tobin Moorcroft, can carve those tablets. I hid them where they will
I knew this
never be
curse was all
found.
Tobin's fault. That little monster was always jealous of my captain and the love we shared.
My big brother, so proud, so famous. But not anymore. I made sure he'll never be remembered. Stibbins? What a ridiculous name. I'm Tobin Moorcroft, master builder of the All Flags Navy monuments. My work, unlike my brother's, will be remembered forever. Everything on Monument Islet. Well, I had help. Apprentices, assistants, laborers. But the design and the fine detail work? That's all mine. The finest hammer and chisel in the world. I paid a small fortune for the enchantments, but you'll never discover where I hid... Out, you vile creature! Never fear, I'm myself again. And better yet, I know where this Tobin hid his tools. I saw it while he was inside my head. To the graveyard, my friend!
We're finally getting somewhere. I know. I'm as surprised as you are, but Stibbins seems quite confident that the tools are in the graveyard. Now put a little oomph in your step. We have a curse to break.
This is all so confusing. My love, his jealous brother, you, people in other people's bodies, forgetting the slightest details. Say you'll break this dreadful curse, please.
poor Lady Laurent. I was only possessed by that foul Tobin for the briefest of instants, but Captain Renwick has been inside Milady for ages. I saw where Tobin hid his tools, though. They're buried in the graveyard, right here on the islet. Gravestone? That's what I saw in Tobin's mind. Dig there.
No, not my tools. Dig somewhere else. I forbid you from adding my accursed brother's name to that memorial plaque. I'm the master builder, and I absolutely forbid it.
You have the tools? Quickly, carve my beloved's name into the plaque at the memorial garden. Once his name is added to the central monument, we will never forget him again.
A dedication ceremony? For me? How exciting!
Captain Renwick Moorcroft of Pristine Halberd. Place my beloved's name where it belongs.
Oh, you do it, friend. My hands are shaking. I'm so nervous.
No. I refuse to allow an unskilled laborer to mar my beautiful craftsmanship. As master builder of this monument, I absolutely forbid you from adding my brother's name to that plaque.
Oh, do be sure to spell his name correctly. R-E-N-W-I-C. Who knows what could happen if we misspelled that body thief's name?
Please, I can feel the curse reasserting itself, trying to steal our memories again. Carve my beloved's name into the memorial plaque, and the curse will be broken. I'm sure of it.
Don't just stand there. Go and carve this oafish captain's name into the memorial so we can end this curse. I much prefer it when my head is only occupied by me.
Well done, my turtle dove. You saved my memory. Now we can be together for all eternity.
I did have a little help, Renwick, my love. Now come, my darling. We have a lot of catching up to do.
My big brother, the famous sea captain, wins again. How typical.
Stibbins! Why do I think this was somehow your fault? Oh, never mind. You, come talk to me. Did that really happen? Did I have the spirit of some ancient all-flags Navy captain residing inside my head? My memory is all a jumble. How do I feel? Like some virile man was stomping around inside my body with his oversized boots and manly urges. It was unsettling. And, if I'm being totally honest, somewhat arousing. Oh, never mind that. My manservant wants a word with you. But please hurry. I have a task for Stibbins that needs to be dealt with post-haste.
Oh, thank you, my friend. I never would have been able to save Lady Laurent without your help. Oh, yes. Of course, the effects may linger for a time, but the worst of it is over. And we righted a wrong of history. Captain Renwick Moorcroft's role in the All-Flags Navy has been restored. But how is Lady Laurent? Is she all right? An urgent task? Oh, well, nothing ever changes. But I live to serve. Here, my annual stipend just as I promised. Thanks again for saving Lady Laurent, ending the curse, and restoring a piece of the archipelago's history. Now I must see to me lady.
Stibbins? Come here, my manservant. All this foolishness about forgotten love has given me an itch. I am in need of a good scratch.
Milady, I could never... well, if you insist.
You there. Can we speak for a moment? You look healthy. Walking about on your own. No shadows in your eyes. You're better off than most of the patients here, which means you're just who I need. Our patients have fallen prey to a strange malady. We could use some help. Ah, good. Then I can skip trying to convince you. But I promise to pay fairly should we succeed. I need to track down this affliction's source. Only patients at the manor seem affected. So I assume the cause must be nearby. Sadly, very little. The menders stay busy tending to the afflicted, and the patients don't quite trust me enough to talk freely. So I need you. If you track down the cause of this malady, perhaps the menders can do something about it. I'd suggest you talk to some patients who are feeling its effects. Try Arabil Vools by the fountain, or Malagi. He likes to watch the sea. Oh, and speak with Mender Talil, too. She's inside. I'll be waiting upstairs when you're done. I can give a first-hand report. The first symptom is the nightmares. I'm familiar with dreams of war, but these were somehow more horrible. I remember eyes around me, peering from darkness, and screaming. Constant screaming. Other patients have fevers and fits of shaking. Some become confused, believing themselves back on the battlefield. I had to subdue a dark elf who turned on a mender. Seeing the others like that, I hope that's not where I'm headed. Fortunately, no. I'm lucky, though I dread the day when it comes for me. The malady doesn't seem to strike the same way twice. That's one of the factors that has confused the healers here. Like the others, I fought for my king, until I caught a spear in the gut. I laid in the mud for hours before an orc shaman found me. She dragged me back to camp. I ended up in a Breton infirmary. That's when I got the offer. A representative of the society came to my bedside. Told me about a noble plan to foster peace in Tamriel. She described how I'd recover alongside my enemies. I thought it sounded overly optimistic, but who turns down a stay by the ocean? Oh, I dream of peace, friend. I've seen too many friends killed, and too much blood spilled to wish otherwise. But I also know that the powerful crave more power, and they don't seem to do much of the fighting or bleeding for it. The manor belongs to Lord Bacaro Valoris. He formed the Society of the Steadfast to work for an end to the Three Banners War. The Society brings wounded soldiers from all sides here to recover. They hope we'll find common ground with our enemies. I guess I'm the guard. Usually the patients mind their manners, or they're in too much pain to cause trouble, but we're all soldiers. When fights break out, I settle them, which means the other patients don't really open up to me. I fought for the Daggerfall Covenant. Even before the war, I marched under its banner. Now here I am, guarding this hospice as an unknown malady torments the minds of their fellows. I guess their suspicions are only natural.
Such a calming vista, yes. The sound of waves lapping at the shore always used to bring Milagi peace. But now, Milagi feels like he may jump out of his fur. Fear ripples through Milagi, as if he faces battle again. This one believes so. Milagi was beginning to feel strong. He planned to return to his family in Riemann. Then, at dinner one evening, Milagi could not catch his breath. His heart pounded, his vision darkened. Only Mender Roslin could calm him. Mender Roslin is a master of alchemical remedies. She mixed a powder into Milagi's tea that calmed the storm. Yesterday, Roslin told this one she might have a cure for his sickness, a new potion that looked promising. But she has disappeared.
I was told they weren't taking new patients, not until they figured out what's going on. Still, welcome to Steadfast Manor. I'd offer a tour, but I don't quite feel up to it. Haven't slept in days. I can barely stand up straight. Affliction? A good word for it. I can feel it wearing away at my mind. After days without sleep, my thoughts are cloudy. I'm a shell of myself. Mender Roslin's tonics help some. She knows what she's doing. Unlike some here. Master Healer Verlaine only manages the symptoms. He sedates us or just offers comforting words, but he won't seek out the root cause. Roslin studied this affliction. She believes it's a curse of the humors, but she needs more research. I thought I was never going to walk again. A wood elf snapped the bones in both my legs. How the little fellow managed it still baffles me. And again, I can't recall much of the battle where it happened. Flashes of memory and no more. I was carried to the healers, but they had to save their magic for the mortally wounded. So I got wooden braces and some bark to chew on that dulled the pain. My bones healed all wrong, made walking constant agony. Somewhat, Master Healer Verlaine was frank about how I'd suffer more before I healed. They had to re-break each bone and slowly knit them back together. But the pain lessens each day. I can shuffle around now. For that, I'm grateful. I was a true believer from the moment I heard of it. I felt no hatred for my enemies. I only fought as I was ordered to. I like the idea of learning about other peoples. I admit I was delighted when I first arrived. Now, my mind is slipping. Something is spreading among the patients. It makes us lose ourselves. I have to think it's a deliberate attack. One of the other alliances is doing this to me. Perhaps coming here was a mistake. We're not close, but I respect her intellect. With her knowledge of alchemy, she could do anything. She chooses to comfort and heal people. Aiding the weak isn't a choice I would make. But now that I'm in need, I see the virtue of it.